So the first thing I learned
So the first thing I learned
when I went to the
when I went to the monastery
was to learn
was to learn
how the mind
how the mind
works. Because once you know how
Because once you know
the mind
how the mind works,
you can control
you can control it.
it. And once you can
And once you can control it,
you can focus it.
you can focus it.
You can't
You can't focus or concentrate something
you don't understand.
you don't understand. ท่านทพันนี้ The Hindu prayers that will change your life.
When people say to me,
When people say to me,
life is too
life is too busy,
I can't
I can't simplify. No, it's you.
You don't want to.
Don't want to.
You have the
You have the choice.
choice. Nobody's holding a gun.
Nobody is holding a
Gun to your head,
to your head saying
You have to
you have to
associate with
these
You
people,
have to do these
or you have to do
things.
these
No,
things.
you choose
No, you choose
to do that.
to do that.
People say this to me
People say this to me
all
all
the time.
the
You know, I hang
time.
around with
I hang around
entrepreneurs and
entrepreneurs and
other people that
other people that
you and I have
you
met.
and I have met.
They've come up with
They've come up with Snapchat.
You need to be on
You needed to be on
Snapchat. I'm like, I don't need
I'm like, I don't
to be
need
on
to be on
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
I don't care what comes
I don't care what comes
up
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I'm not going to do it
I'm not going to do it
because I can't
because I can't
stand it.
send it. Send it.
Right? That's going to
That's going to
take a little bit more of my energy
more of my energy
each
today.
day. And I only have this
And I only have
much
this
energy,
much
and I need to
energy,
divide it
and I need to divide it
between all the people
between all the
and
people
things that I love.
and things that I love.
My law of
The law of
Dynamic states, you cannot
says that you cannot
create or
create
destroy
or
energy,
destroy
but you
energy,
can transfer it
but you can transfer it from
one thing to another,
one thing to another,
or transform it.
or transform it from one thing to another.
So I can't create more
So I can't create more
Energy, I only have this
energy.
much.
I only have this much.
because come
This
11
much,
o'clock
because at 11
Tonight I'll be
this
exhausted.
night, I'll be exhausted
I'm ready to sleep.
and ready to sleep.
So I got this much,
So I got this much,
100%.
100%.
I need to know
I need to know
where I'm dividing.
where I'm dividing.
I always tell
I always tell
entrepreneurs to look
entrepreneurs to look at
at
energy,
energy the same way they look at
Energy,
money.
the same way they look at money.
It's a finite resource
It's a finite
that needs to
resource that needs to be
be wisely managed,
wisely
wisely
managed, wisely reallocated,
and wisely
and
invested.
wisely invested.
The average person sleeps
The average person sleeps
what 7 to 8
with
hours
7 to 8 hours.
to say roughly.
To say roughly,
So we're awake for about 16
so we're awake for about
hours of the day.
16 hours of the day.
Let's just say on the
Let's say on average,
average we're practicing
we're practicing 13 hours a
13
day,
hours a day,
13 hours a day, 7 days
days a week
a
distraction.
week distraction.
And then you wonder why
And then you wonder why
you're so good at it.
you're so good at it. So
That's
good.
the law of practice.
That's the law of practice.
The law of practice
The law of practice
is that we
is
become
that we'll become
good
become good
at whatever it
at wherever is
is
we
we practice. Whether it's
whether it's positive
positive or negative,
or negative,
it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
If you practice
If you practice
something over
something over
and over and
and
over
over
again,
and over again,
you become really
you become really
good at it.
good at
And
it.
that's why people
And that's why people
Are
are
so
so
good at
good
distraction.
at distraction.
because it's what they
Because it was they practice.
And then people say
And then people say
things
things
like
like
technology
technology
are
are great
great distractors,
distractors,
right?
right? Smartphones.
Oh, I have this thing
Oh, I have this thing
so distracting.
so distracting,
My smartphone,
my smartphone,
the internet.
the internet.
Are they distracted?
Are they distractors?
I'd like to say
I like to say
no
no.
first, And then, yes.
Yes.
But mostly, no.
But mostly no.
Technology in itself
Technology in itself is
not a bad thing. It's actually
It's actually
a beautiful
a
thing.
beautiful thing
As long as we're
as long as we're
in
in
charge of it.
charge of it.
But if every time
But if every time
your iPhone
your
beeps
iPhone beeps
or makes a sound and
or make a sound,
you turn to it and
you turn to it and
you go, "Yes, master.
Yes, master.
How can I serve you
How can I serve
today?"
you today?
Then you live
Then you live in
that world of
that world of distraction.
distraction. It's
It's training
training you to be distracted.
you to be distracted.
But if you actually
But if you actually
use
use
technology, then technology is.
then technology is
Not a
not a
bad
bad thing.
So how do we
So how do we become
become good
good
at
at concentrating? So how do we become good at concentrating?
We start by
We start by understanding the mind.
right. All
Right?
of us have
All of us have
a
the
mind.
mind.
It's the most
It's the most powerful
tool in the
tool
world.
in the world.
smartphone.
It's built the
It's
smartphone. It's boost
machines that drive itself
that drive itself
on
on
Mars. So the first thing
So the first thing
I learned when I
I
went to
learned when I went to the
was to
monastery
learn
was to learn how
the
the
mind
mind
works.
works.
Because once
The
you
mind
know
works. Because once you
how the
know
mind works,
how the mind works,
you can control it.
you can control it.
But once you can control
And once you control it,
it, you can focus
you can focus it.
it. You can't
You can't
focus or concentrate
focus or concentrate something
you don't understand.
you don't understand.
So how does the mind work?
So how does the mind work?
From the monk's
From the monk's
perspective,
perspective,
from the monk's
from
experience
the monk's experience
of the mind,
of the
there's
mind,
two
there's two things
things that you need to
that you need to understand.
One is there's a
One is the awareness,
and one is the mind.
and one is the mind.
So I'll take a few moments
So I'll take a few moments
to explain this
to explain this
to
to
you
you
and share what they are.
and share what they are.
So imagine awareness is
So imagine awareness is a growing
a
ball of
glowing
light.
ball of light, like an
It's a glowing ball of light,
orb that can
like an orb
float around.
that I can go around.
Okay, so that's
Okay, so that's
awareness.
awareness.
Now
Now imagine your
mind as a vast
as a vast
space,
Space.
vast area
area
with
with
Many different sections
different sections within it.
one area of the
Within it.
mind is anger,
One area of the mind is anger,
jealousy,
because jealousy is
food, sex,
food, sex,
happiness,
happiness, joy,
science,
science,
art.
art.
And
And the
this glowing ball of light
ball of
called
light awareness
awareness can travel
within the mind,
and it can go to any
and it can go to any
Any area of the mind it
area
wants
of the
to-
mind it wants to go to.
And when it goes to a particular
And when it goes to
Particular area
a
of the-
particular area of
mind,
the
it
mind,
lights up that area.
it lights up that area.
When it lights up that area of the mind, lights up
Lights up that
that
area.
When it lights up that
When it lights up that area of the mind,
you become conscious.
you become conscious of it.
And this is what
And this is what happens
happens all day. We allow
All
people
day we allow people
and things around us
and things around us to take
to take awareness,
our awareness
from one area of the mind
from one area of the mind
into another
to another all day long.
day long.
All day
From
long.
the time we wake up
From the time
from the time we wake up.
we wake up.
And therefore,
And therefore,
we become
we
distracted.
become distracted.
So to be concentrated
To be concentrated
is to be
is
able
to be able to
to keep your awareness
keep your awareness
on one thing
on one thing
for an extended period
for an extended period of
of
time.
time. How do we practice this?
How do we practice this?
We practice this
We practice this by doing one thing at a time.
by doing one thing at a time throughout
One
the
thing
day.
at a time throughout the day.
What's the best
What's the best way to develop concentration?
concentration? The best way to
The best way to
develop
develop
concentration is to bring the practice into
bring that practice into our everyday life.
look at opportunities
Look at opportunities
throughout your day.
throughout
In your
the day.
average day, ask yourself look at opportunities throughout your
throughout the
day.
day.
In your average
In your everyday day, ask
day, ask
yourself,
yourself what's a great opportunity to practice
what's the great opportunity to practice concentration?
concentration. How many of you have
How many of you have
a spouse or
a
partner that you
spouse or
live
partner that you
with?
live with?
Quite a few of you.
Quite a few of you. Quite a few of you.
Every time you speak
Every time you speak
with your spouse
with your spouse
your
or your partner, keep
that ball of light,
that pole of light,
that awareness on that
what awareness on that
person.
person.
It drifts away.
It drifts away,
Bring it back.
bring it back.
It drifts away.
It drifts away,
Bring it back.
bring it back.
The more you practice
The more you practice this,
this, the more
the more you
you become better
better
at concentration.
at concentration.
Give her or
Give her
him your
or him your undivided
undivided
attention.
attention. So if you speak to your spouse
So if you speak to your spouse for 2 hours a day, what a great opportunity to practice concentration.
Every time you
Every time you speak
speak with your child,
with your child,
practice concentration.
practice concentration.
Parents come up to me
Parents come up to me
all the time and say,
all the time and say,
Dandapani, how can I
Datapani, how can I teach my children to
concentrate?
concentrate?
Very easy. You
Very, very easy.
learn to concentrate
You learn to concentrate first.
first. And there's an old saying that's good.
There are an old saying that
Those
goes,
monkeys see,
monkeys see,
these monkey do,
monkeys do,
you know.
you know.
And if you can't concentrate,
And if you can't concentrate,
you can't expect your child to
you can't expect your child to
concentrate.
concentrate.
And if you don't
And if you don't teach your
teach your
children
children how to concentrate,
how to concentrate,
how can they
possibly
possibly
learn how to concentrate?
how to concentrate? They can't.
They can't.
Benefits of concentration
The benefits of concentration
are endless.
are endless.
Right? When you're able to
When you are able to
concentrate, you're
concentrate,
able to focus
you are able to focus
all your energy
all your energy
into a single given point.
into a single given point.
Life is a manifestation
Life is a manifestation
of where your energy is
of
flowing.
where your energy is flowing.
And if you can't
And if you can't
concentrate your
concentrate
the things
the things
that you want to manifest
that
in
you want to manifest in your life
becomes very
very
very challenging.
challenging.
So learn to
learn to concentrate
by doing one thing at a
by
time.
doing one thing at a time.
Bring this practice
Bring this practice
into everything that you
into everything
do throughout the
you
day.
do throughout the day.
Make it a part of your life.
Make it a part of your life.
Practice.
Practice.
Keep bringing
Awareness
awareness back.
back.
And keep it focused.
And keep it focused on one
time.
thing at a time. If you struggle and have a hard time, consider taking an online therapy lesson with your partner. Better help.